welcome back to Earthlings, the fun place where kids explore nature, animals, and the amazing world around us. Are you ready to learn something cool today? Let's go. Earthling heroes. It's easy to think of deserts as dry, boring, waste. You may imagine endless dunes of sand and a sky so blue it's almost empty, but that idea couldn't be further from the truth. Deserts are full of life, though you have to look closely to see it. From giant camels to silly-looking lizards, this is life in the desert, and it's full of surprises. First, let's meet one of the biggest desert animals around, the camel. There are two main types of camels, the dromedary and the Bactrian camel. The dromedary, found in North Africa and the Middle East, has one hump on its back, while the Bactrian camel native to Central Asia has two. The name camel comes from the Arabic word kam, meaning humped one. Though their humps look like great big water tanks, they're actually full of fat. The fat in the hump serves as energy storage and as an insulator, helping the camels keep cool in the heat and warm in the cold. They can go for long periods without water, thanks to some neat tricks. They can get most of the water they need from the fat in their humps. Their bodies are designed to minimize water loss. Camels produce very concentrated urine, have a special ability to tolerate a lot of heat without overheating, and can even go without drinking water for several weeks. Yes, weeks. Imagine going so long without needing a sip of water. That's pretty amazing. If you ever find yourself stuck in the desert without water, you might want to stick with a camel. Another cool thing about camels is their eyes. They have a third eyelid called a nictitating membrane that acts like sunglasses, protecting them from the sun and blowing sand. Plus, their eyelashes are extra long, also helping to keep the sand out. Now, if you've ever seen a camel up close, you may have noticed something else about their eyes. They seem to sparkle with all sorts of colors. Well, there's a reason for that too. The colors you see in camel eyes come from tiny crystals inside their eyes called guanine. This guanine reflects light and gives their eyes a shimmering look. But why do camels have this sparkly feature? Well, it turns out they need it to protect themselves from the intense glare of the sun. When light hits the guanine, it scatters in different directions, making it harder for predators to stare directly at the camel's eyes. But camels aren't the only desert dwellers. Let's take a closer look at some other animals that call the desert home. One of the coolest things about deserts is they come in many forms, from hot and sandy to cold and rocky, and they're home to a variety of plant and animal life adapted to these harsh conditions. One such creature is the desert kangaroo rat. This little rodent lives in the deserts of North America, specifically in California and the southwestern United States. Despite living in an arid environment, the kangaroo rat does not need to drink water to survive. That's right, it gets all the moisture it needs from the seeds it eats. How crazy is that? The kangaroo rat is perfectly adapted for life in the desert. Its body is sleek and agile, allowing it to hop and jump through the sand with ease, and its large hind feet help it leap up to 9 meters in a single bound. Talk about being nimble. But what about the desert kangaroo rat's diet? As I mentioned earlier, it gets all its water from the seeds and plants it consumes. These seeds are typically high in oil content, which the kangaroo rat uses for energy and hydration. The rat's kidneys are also super efficient, enabling it to extract every last drop of water from its food. The kangaroo rat is truly a master of survival, able to thrive in an environment where water is scarce and temperatures can soar. Now, did you know that deserts are also home to a variety of reptiles? One of the most fascinating is the thorny devil. Don't let the name fool you. Despite its spiky appearance, this lizard is actually quite small, reaching a maximum length of around 21 centimeters. You can find the thorny devil in the deserts of southwestern Australia, where it camouflages perfectly among the red dirt and spinifex grass. It's perfectly adapted to its environment, with a flat, triangular head that's great for digging and a rough, scaly body that protects it from predators. Thorny devils are also unique in the way they capture their prey. They have a sticky tongue that they use to capture ants, which make up the majority of their diet. The lizard flicks its tongue out at lightning speed, catching the unsuspecting ants off guard. Once caught, the ants are held fast to the roof of the thorny devil's mouth, ensuring that the lizard has a tasty meal. Now, you may be wondering how the thorny devil manages to survive in such harsh conditions. Well, these little guys have a secret weapon, the ability to absorb water through their skin. That's right, they don't need to drink water in the traditional sense. Instead, they simply soak up moisture from their This allows them to thrive in an environment where water is scarce, and other animals struggle to survive. Speaking of water, there's another desert reptile that has a unique way of getting its hydration. Meet the sidewinder is a venomous pit viper found in the deserts of North America. These snakes are unique because they move in a zigzag pattern, leaving a distinctive trail behind them. But why do they move like this? Well, it's all about staying cool. By moving in this zigzag fashion, the sidewinder avoids contact with the hot ground, which can reach temperatures of up to 71 degrees Celsius. Sidewinders can grow to impressive lengths, reaching up to 2.7 meters in length and weighing up to 1.8 kilograms. Despite their size, they're surprisingly agile and can navigate the shifting sands with ease. These snakes are also equipped with special heat-sensing pits between their eyes and nostrils. These pits allow them to detect the heat signature of their prey, making it easier to strike with accuracy. But the sidewinder's unique way of moving doesn't just help it regulate its body temperature. It also has another benefit. By moving in a zigzag pattern, the snake is less likely to be spotted by predators. This camouflage helps protect them from being eaten by eagles, hawks, and other predators that may try to make a meal of them. But the desert isn't just home to reptiles and rodents. There's also a variety of insects that have adapted to thrive in this harsh environment. Take the Sahara silver ant, for example. These ants live in the Sahara Desert and are known for their incredible ability to survive in extreme heat. During the day, the temperature in the Sahara can reach up to 50 degrees Celsius. But the Sahara silver ant can withstand temperatures of up to 65 degrees without suffering any ill effects. So what's the secret behind the Sahara silver ant's heat resistance? Well, it turns out that these little ants have a special adaptation in their exoskeleton. The outer covering of the ant's body contains tiny grooves that help to reflect sunlight and reduce heat absorption. Additionally, the ants' bodies are coated with silvery scales made of guanine, the same material that gives some animals, including camels, their shiny eyes. The scales act as a mirror, reflecting heat back into the desert and keeping the ants nice and cool. Sahara silver ants are also incredibly efficient with their water usage. They have special mechanisms in place to prevent dehydration in the face of extreme heat. They get most of their water from the plants they eat and are able to store water in their bodies for later use. These adaptations allow the Sahara silver ant to not only survive in the harsh environment of the desert, but also thrive and build massive colonies that can number in the millions. Deserts are amazing places. They're home to some of the most unique and fascinating animals on the planet. From the towering camel to the tiny Sahara silver ant, each species has adapted in incredible ways to survive in a harsh and unforgiving environment. But it's important to remember that these animals aren't just tough survivors. They're also beautiful, graceful, and intelligent creatures. We can learn a lot from them about resilience, adaptation, and living in harmony with our environment. So the next time you think of a desert, don't just picture endless dunes of sand and scorching heat. Think of the amazing animals that call the desert home, and the incredible ways they've adapted to survive and thrive in one of the toughest environments on Earth. Until next time, thanks for watching. Keep exploring and stay curious.